one against support.
The thing is, what champion are you thinking that she's going to play against? Give me a scenario here.
I have no idea. Lucian. She beats Lucian level 1.
That's true. Well, sometimes it's true. It is very, very hard to think about the game theoretically on the point when we are in Champion Select.
Well, we'll get back to that if Vayne is locked in. But Caitlyn, Urgot are the first two bans in from Naru. LeBlanc and Kindred in from WhiteLotus. Kalista will be the final ban from Naru. And what is left open that has looked so good so far? Lulu Kennen is still open for these two players. Nunu as well. AP Leona, also fantastic in the 1v1 format.
I really think Miss Fortune can be something that does really well in this, just because of how her passive works. So I would be interested to see if that is picked up.
I love the Draven. Really, really love the Draven. I just get flashbacks from when Soaz played it to beat Wicked, and it's very, very strong in the 1v1. Keep picking up your axes, keep pushing, and it's perfect.
So I have a question. With all of the exhaust ignites we've seen, why have we not seen something like a Jarvan, like a Xin Zhao that can just get level 2, has a reasonably good time pushing level 1 as well, and then just all in?
That is true. Like, I am also surprised. I'm thinking Zed, especially on this patch 5.23, his ultimate kind of guarantees to one-shot any AD carry in the game.
Yeah, I believe the problem is they are not us, is the reason why we haven't seen Xin Zhao so far. They are not big enough cheeses. Carbon is the one who has gone further on that with the new pickup. And it will be Draven picked up with Fizz on Naru.
Well, similar theory, right? You can get in there, you can dodge a lot of the damage with your Playful Trickster. And Q and W at level 1 and 2 are probably two of the highest damage abilities in the game.
And also, like, what I'm thinking, it's WhiteLotus on Draven. Simply because he picked it, I'm assuming his mechanics are on point as his Vayne. With that in mind, his E can interrupt the damage from the Q, and that is gonna mess up Naru's entire flow.
Now, this will be a very interesting 1v1. I'm just trying to think of the mechanics in my head, but last time we saw Draven, he did actually come out victorious.
Yeah, so I'm thinking right now that when Naru sees it, he's just gonna pray that WhiteLotus makes the obvious error and goes QW. Because then he's like, level 2, I'm just in there, like you would not believe. But
sure.
I agree, if WhiteLotus does take the E, that stand aside, going to be very difficult for Fizz to get anything done.
For sure. And then, like, we can always draw comparisons to the summoners. If what is the problem of Fizz? He gets pushed in, his level 1 is weak, he gets harassed under the tower, eventually he gets strong enough to do the all-in, but I feel like the 1v1 is all about the early levels.
Yeah, every time I look at these kind of weaker champions, I always think there must be something that we're missing, right? With the Gangplank, we're like, this is terrible. He walked into the lane, we're like, this is amazing. Like, there has to be something here that Naru knows that we don't. Because honestly, in the first couple of levels, WhiteLotus should dunk him.
Well, the other thing that he could have done, which he hasn't, is get to the brushes first and then just all in level 1. But he hasn't done that, so, you know, not going to mention it.
I think he was looking for the corrupting potion in the shop. It's a new item, you know. Maybe that is the only logical response I have to that, sadly.
He skills E first as well, so...
Oh, so what he's going to do, he's predicting the stand aside. So he just wants to E in on top of him at level 2, not level 1, and be able to dodge that skill shot. All in.
It's definitely true. Of course, Fizz has the passive that reduces the damage he takes from minions, which allows him to kind of trade with the E. This is very, very common also on the Summoner's Rift.
WhiteLotus is literally just getting up in the grill of Naru, getting into his head, standing up there. He's going to be pushing up this wave a little bit. Naru literally can't get near these minions. It's going to be very difficult for him to get any farm. He's literally just going to have to concede level 2 and wait for the wave to push into him.
Or will he?
Oh, well, he gets the harass in. Actually, a little surprised that WhiteLotus didn't just stand there and try and get a couple more autos, because Naru was going to have to go out.
Certainly was. Hasn't got W, which is where a lot of Fizz's auto-attack trading does come from. So we'll see whether at level 2 he does decide to pull the trigger. Level 3 is also relatively strong for Fizz. So I feel if he wins this game, it will be in the first 3 levels.
For sure, for sure. But WhiteLotus, of course, gonna reach level 2 first. And I believe the reason why he backed off from the trade was because Naru popped his potion, so there was no point to keep on trading. Just make that potion inefficient.
Already the second stack of that potion has been burnt by Naru, only 1 remaining. And literally right now, WhiteLotus is just trying to get the wave pushed in. That's all he's really aiming for.
And Naru's just waiting for an equalized creep wave, if we're going to be honest. He just wants there to not be more on his side of the map. This is exactly what he's looking for. We'll see if he does pull the trigger or whether it will be the level 3 all-in.
Well, what did Naru skill right here? I assume it's the
W.
W. Okay, W and E. So it will probably be the level 3.
And Draven has made the mistake. He's got Q and W, although now he's got the other one.
Yeah, he doesn't have E.
No, he doesn't.
Why?
He put 2 points in Q. Naru can win this.
Yeah, like, you literally can't knock him out of the Urchin Strike. Naru jumps on WhiteLotus, and WhiteLotus will probably die. But Naru doesn't know that.
But the thing is now, there's a bunch of creeps now stacking up. It feels like the window has been closed.
Yeah, but remember, the passive reduces minion damage, so
That is true.
he should be good. But yeah, gets a little bit of farm there. 62 gold going over to him, but losing the CS war. But of course, that's not Naru's win condition here.
It's also impossible to get CS underneath this turret. As you
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Every time he goes for CS, it's literally not worth it. He's going to jump onto WhiteLotus to get a little bit of harassment down, but that is not worth it at all. WhiteLotus punishes him so hard. Naru will have to go back to base.
Oh, he wanted to back anyway. Not a big deal.
What does he pick up here? What is his item choice? Is it Seekers?
Doran's
Is it
Blade?
double Doran's?
Oh my goodness, not a ring. I don't want to have this discussion again. Pick up the blade, damn it.
Well, I believe there's a max of 2 Doran's items, but that's of the same item, so you could theoretically go double ring, double blade, right?
Well, the thing is, Doran's. That is the key word. 2 Doran's items, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
So it is a second Doran's Blade and a longsword picked up for WhiteLotus. He also has a huge CS advantage. And maybe level 6. Maybe that's what Naru, like the last bet.
The wave's now pushing towards WhiteLotus. This is going to be difficult for Naru to actually get on top of him.
Oh, he doesn't want to fight now.
What's
Level
the
4, horrible time.
Level 5, level 6, 2 power spikes for Naru.
Really like the faith you guys have in the fizz pick. I don't have
I didn't
faith.
say I had any faith in this pick. I'm just trying to justify why I could pick
That is true, that is true.
WhiteLotus, landing the autos. Okay, Naru. Are we looking for a level 5 all in, or is it going to be level 6?
It's going to be level 6. It has to be. He's like too far underneath his turret. WhiteLotus's wave is going to slowly push up. Naru's going to grab all that CS, all that experience, not CS, experience. Then when it bounces back one more time, he'll go for the all-in.
Yeah, it seems like that is the plan. Simply because since he bought the Doran's ring, Fizz has been nerfed, so his physical damage doesn't get amplified by the ultimate. So of course the Doran's ring makes sense for the level 6 all-in.
Yeah, and you can tell how Naru's playing it. As long as he's in experience range, he doesn't care. He's just going to have a chuckle.
We can see on screen. Naru heading back to his turret. How is he doing on experience? He's a fair ways off. WhiteLotus. If we get caught in a one-on-one, it's literally just about the fish landing, right? Like, you have to connect the ultimate for Naru to win.
Yeah, and he has to go E in first. He can't Q in because of exactly the reason that we talked about. So he needs to E on top of WhiteLotus as the fish is coming out, which is rather difficult to do.
A big problem is also the exhaust. The damage from Fizz is very, very telegraphed, so the exhaust is very, very easy to time. But I feel like the right decision for WhiteLotus now is to base, get his MR maybe, build towards the Hex Drinker, because Naru is reaching that power spike.
I completely agree. WhiteLotus has actually missed a trick here because if Naru goes in, he might be able to get it.
WhiteLotus's E is on cooldown for another couple seconds. This is the time, this is the window for Naru to jump in. Look, another 5 seconds.
He wants
the
to
ultimate
base
is
so
used.
bad.
Yeah, he's basing.
Hashtag regrets.
Honestly, I feel like Naru should have just pulled the trigger trying to engage in WhiteLotus. Like, the E was down for another 5 seconds. It was a big window there.
Yeah, certainly do agree with that. But very smart play out of WhiteLotus. He's going back to the base to the cheers of the audience.
Yeah, going for the Hex Drinker. And Naru going for another Doran's ring. Okay. What do you think about this AP build? I feel like AD is just straight up better, right?
It is once again like, ever since Fizz got the huge nerfs, which kind of made him just disappear from the top lane, is that his physical damage does not get amplified by the ultimate anymore. So after 6, Doran's rings make more sense. Pre-6, Doran's blade make more sense.
Okay. Good to process. Naru sitting in the bush gets the vision on that side of the map.
And you can see WhiteLotus knows.
And here's the all-in, but remember the magic resist has been picked up. The exhaust was a little late there by WhiteLotus. Now the exhaust comes down on to WhiteLotus himself from Naru.
Naru can still go. His cooldowns will be back up a little bit sooner, and he had a health shrine, so WhiteLotus probably needs to get back out.
Naru looking for the all-in. He was trying to get the Urchin Strike in range, knowing that the E was down by WhiteLotus. I think that's still kill potential for Naru, though.
I was so surprised Naru didn't go for the all-in completely there. I felt like he would have won that big time.
Oh, he used the E again.
Misses an axe. He's lower mana.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to matter. Naru is too far behind in CS right now. WhiteLotus is just looking to farm up.
Now Naru goes in, connects the E, and jumps back with the Urchin Strike.
I think he wins auto attack trade.
Yeah, I think so too.
Oh, he's been maxing his E. See, Now I really disagree with Naru's build. I think W is far superior.
Okay, he's gonna jump in here. Already used the E, and he's just gonna get destroyed by WhiteLotus. This isn't even close. First blood over to WhiteLotus.
I felt he had this window of opportunity when he all-in, decided to back off. When you back off in these moments, it means you're going for the sustain game. Why would you ever go for the sustain game when you're so far behind in CS?
Yeah, especially against an AD carry who gets life back as they auto-attack the minion wave. He had a window.
He had multiple
You
windows.
just felt a small breeze coming through the window and then close.
But there were so many of those windows, but didn't really find them. Went for the level 7 power spike and was maxing E as well. So actually not going to pick up the win on this one.
Yeah, the E was the most confusing part for me. I just feel that W, the lower you fall in health, the activation is so good there. Might be able to chunk him out a little bit further, but it just wasn't to be. And really, credit to WhiteLotus. This is the CS advantage that I'm talking about. If you build